What up, though? Today we are tackling a topic that came from, it actually came from a thread that I put out. The thread had said, let me see if I can find the actual thread for you guys. As I'm finding the thread, I want to let you guys know that I'm doing a 30-day challenge with my coach. It's talking about fitness and things of that sort. It's 30 days. So you'll see me go live for 30 days. Within those 30 days, if you would like, I'm going to be offering free 15-minute coaching live for anybody who wants to get on. So is the school system failing our children? Now, I put a post on Threads and it literally said, I went to my daughter's open house and I was heartbroken. Now, that's all I had put. I wasn't looking for I wasn't looking for like any like validation, or I wasn't looking for I wasn't looking for anything at all. I was just putting it out there. And a bunch of people came on and were like, hey, homeschooling is an option, which we've thought about. And certain people came on also, and they literally, started going straight to this. Well, teachers would have a better chance if kids weren't so bad and undisciplined and things like that, and behavior management and all of that. Let me just start off by saying, if a kid is under 7, they're not going to be super disciplined, right? That's just what it is. They're not going to be super disciplined. With that being said, I wasn't saying that to even bash a teacher at all. If anybody knows me, for those who don't know me, I actually train teachers to have an outlet to stress less, to have better health, and to be able to handle the workload that they have. I don't think a teacher has a fair advantage from them being in school all day and then going home to grade. They don't really have a life, which I'll just say this and I'll deal with it later, which is why I wonder why teachers still choose that way to do their passion, because it's almost like a dead end, but we're not going to go there. So I put that out there, and a bunch of people came on, a bunch of trolls came on and stuff like that. And me just being me, I knew for a fact a lot of those people, if they were in front of me, they would not have said 90% of the stuff that they said. So we let that slide because it was on the internet and they didn't have a picture. Now, do I think the school system is failing? I don't think the school system was ever set up for kids to be creative, for kids to be developed into who they're supposed to be. I think the school system is set up to produce workers. I think the school system is set up to make kids turn into adults who don't want to think for themselves, who just want to follow, who don't want to think outside of the box, and they're going to just obey whatever it's being said by a boss or somebody. And if that's the way that someone wants to live, kudos to you. I just don't think that they're giving kids a real way to go and be great in the world, right? You've heard the stories of Rockefeller and things like that. Like, they made the system to actually just literally make better workers or make workers. If you look at the school day for most kids in most classes, the school day is like, hey, bell rings, they get a little bit of whatever to do in the beginning, and then subject after subject. I showed my daughter's schedule on Instagram, and people were wild. Like, it's just jam packed. If the teacher has to rush to teach the stuff, imagine like a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old trying to grasp all of that stuff. A little bit of playtime, a little bit of recess time, a little bit of lunchtime. It almost looks like a mini jail. And I don't think that's going to change. I don't think school is going to make it better for us, because they don't care about that. So what are my thoughts around it? Yes, we've toyed around thinking about like a private school or a Montessori school. And then we thought about homeschooling of some sort. The reason why we thought about homeschooling is because after doing some research and talking to people who have successfully done homeschooling, and teachers who were teachers in the school system who have switched over to not being in the system anymore and homeschooling, some of the ideas and some of the reasonings are amazing. Now, when you think homeschooling, you usually think that it's like the kid comes out being weird. they sit at a desk at home all day, every day. That's not what homeschooling is, and that's what I had to learn. It's more so letting the child learn in a way that they can actually learn, in a way where they can actually be excited to learn. And you may be thinking, Drew, what does this have to do with fitness or faith? Right? I'll wrap it up at the end if you're wondering what this has to do with that. Homeschooling more can be like teaching them to learn in the style that they need to learn, right? Back in the day when a kid was really hyper or something like that, the teacher would just try to calm them down. And it was almost as if they were like making the kid become like bottled. Versus, how does this kid learn? Are they going to learn better outside? Are they going to learn better doing things that are a little bit different? Kids learn at different speeds, right? For me as an adult, I learn at a whole different speed than most adults. If you put me in a jiu-jitsu class, I'm the slowest learner. like, but once I got it, I'm okay. So kids are going to learn at different speeds. And I think homeschooling is a great way for that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to homeschool tomorrow. I would love to. But I have to figure out how to also make money if I do that. Now, here are some of the barriers or some of the things that I've seen with this. The kid goes to school maybe from like 8:15 to about 3 o'clock. Most parents are going to work from like 8 to 5 or like 9 to 5. So what usually happens is they got to put the kid probably in an after school program. So now this kid is in like the watch of people from like 8 to like 5 of just being told what to do. Sit down, go here, do this, color this, don't do that. Just think, like, how would you function as an adult if you got that type of treatment all day, every day? This is why most people most people become entrepreneurs. They don't want to listen to someone telling them that all day, every day. Now, imagine being a kid, hearing that every day, all day. Sit down, move this, don't jump, don't run. It's in them to do those things, and they're not being able to. So this kid is in there all day. The parent is in there and job all day. And by the time they both get home, they almost have nothing to offer each other. The kid's hyper now because the kid now has a way to get out the excitement. They're happy to see the parent, and the parent is just completely drained from work. This clash happens more than we like to admit. And this clash happens so frequently that I think we've made it the norm. Like, the parent wants to climb the corporate ladder to get more money and in hopes that they can support the kid better, but then they don't see the kid. The kid is at school, the kid is at after school programs, and it literally becomes like a cycle of, I don't want to say death, but it becomes like a cycle of like doom. You don't see your kid, you're tired, the kid doesn't see you, and you just start slowly growing apart. You start getting irritated and you start growing apart. Now, when the teachers who were hopping on this thread that I had made, who weren't really understanding what I was saying, the thing that they kept saying was, if the kids behave, we could teach better. And I just asked one teacher, I said, well, maybe it's the system and it's not the kids. Maybe the system needs to allow more room for the teacher to teach in a way where they can be creative, that they can actually help the kid develop. And if the system won't allow that, you clearly will see that the system is not set up for teachers to actually teach kids to succeed. It's to get to a passing grade and pass them along and create another worker. Now, I'm passionate about this because I have a daughter, and I've always thought about it, and I've always thought to myself, even with like certain jobs, like, if I work this amount of hours, I'm bound to only get this amount. So if this is going to be my life forever, I'm probably going to start zoning out. I'm probably not going to tap into my creativity muscles, and I'm probably going to just become just like everybody else. And nothing's wrong with that if you want that, but most people do want more. So that's my spiel on the school system. I don't think it's meant for us to succeed, for kids to succeed. I think it's meant for kids to become workers. That's my idea. I think it's train them up to become workers, put them in college so that they get a lot of debt. And then after college, hopefully they can find a job to pay off that debt, and then they'll get a house and get married, and then they'll combine the house debt, and then by 70, they'll end up retiring, ready to die. They're only going to enjoy life for about 5 years. I don't want that. I don't think most of my listeners even want that as well. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Now, for any teacher who sees this, right? Because I'm rooting for teachers. I want you guys to have the best health or the best way to release stress, because you guys are doing an amazing job. If you are a teacher and you see this, right, I want to offer you half off my online programming. Just DM me, half off, no tricks, anything like that. I'll tell you what it is. It's completely customized. I'll give it to you half off if you are a teacher and you see this within the next, let's say, 72 hours. I want to help teachers succeed in this area. I personally go to coach teachers once a week with fitness boxing to help them relieve stress, have an outlet, and let them know that, hey, your job is important. I understand you can't do your job the best way you would want to, but as long as you're here, let's try to make the best of it. Okay, guys, thanks for stopping in. For the people who are on live, I'll be back tomorrow. For the people who are on the podcast, you'll catch me when you catch me. I'm out of here, guys. Go be great.